been talking about properties of matter. So we've talked about size, shape, color, and texture. So remember, texture is how something feels. We're going to see how matter changes when we do things like fold, cut, break, and tear. So we have our Post-it right here, and I'm going to tear it. And I want you to tell me what happened to our piece of paper. What? So I tore it apart. What happens now? What changes? Does the size change? Does the shape change? Does the texture change? Or does the color change? So right, there are two things that are happening right now. So this was a square, and then when I do it in two pieces, the shape changes, but the size changes as well. So this is the size that changes. Now, go ahead and turn to your page in your science book if you would like to follow along with us. It's page 252 and 253. So this is what that looks like. Now, if you need some time to find that page a little bit longer, of course you do right now because this is really quick, pause the video because I'm going to keep going. So pause the video to find it. And the others, yours doesn't have the writing on the side. Ms. Sparks is just using her teacher edition. So that's what this is. Okay, so make a change. All matter has properties. A property is one part of what something is like. Cutting and folding can change the properties of matter. So we have cutting. So when you cut a carrot down here, when you cut it, what changes? When you cut the carrot, what changes? Is it the size, shape, texture, or color? The color doesn't change. The shape changes and the size changes as well, but the texture doesn't change. It's still the same. And then where are we? Cutting and folding. Breaking and tearing can change the properties of matter too. So folding, again, changes the shape, changes the size. And we have breaking as well. So breaking, so we have an egg. So imagine you can look at your egg, and when you break it, the size changes, right? And then the shape, because when you break an egg, all the shells, they're in different pieces, right? Same with tearing. So now tearing, when you tear off like an orange, or definitely an orange. Now what changes? The size, shape, texture, or color. Now the color might change, but it's still orange up here. Now the size is still the same. It's a little bit smaller, but the size is still the same. And then the color is the same, the shape is the same. The texture might be a little bit different. So that might be a little bit different. So what we're going to focus on today is we're going to look at something, a food, and you're going to change the size of it. So do something to change the size of it. Now you're going to draw that on your Jamboard. Ms. Sparks gave you an example. So I have a piece of pizza, and when you cut it up, so it's a circle, but when you cut it up, then it becomes like triangles. So that's changing the size and the shape. Now you don't have to do the shape, but we're just focusing on the size. So the size changes when you cut something in half, the size changes. So head to your Jamboard and decide of what food that you want to use and something that changes size, and it could be shape as well. So changing size.